Okay, we're shooting. Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen. She's searching for words because some words we will have to use in English and we just know them in Portuguese because I've been here for 2 months already. I am leaving today from Brazil. We're currently in São Paulo. This is my friend Julianne.
Hello.
That you already know from the previous video that we were shooting in the Praça da República, which is like the Republic Square, and we thought it was interesting. So she's really young. You may not know that, but she's only 18 years old, but she's already really smart and she knows a lot of things. She's gonna make a very good lawyer one day, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, we hope so too. Let's keep our fingers crossed for her too. We decided to shoot this video to show the difference between the Czech Republic or Europe and Brazil, because there are a lot of them.
Yes.
And when we were talking on the bus the other day, we wrote some of the differences down. So it's going to be a bit mixed. Maybe it's not going to have a lot of sense together because we don't have as much time to make it clear. So it's going to be one thing and then the other one, but just to show you the differences. So I'd like to start with the place where we are now. We're in São Paulo, which is a capital of the São Paulo state. One of the how many states are there in Brazil altogether?
I think it's 23.
Something like that, 2023. So the distance in Brazil is huge. Like everything is far. Even in Sao Paulo, to get to some place, it will take you 1 hour to cross the city. Sao Paulo has about 20 million people living here, which is actually the same amount like 2 Czech republics living here. I was living in Minas Gerais now the last 2 months, and Minas Gerais is 7 times bigger than the Czech Republic, so it's incredible. So we have a lot of distances here. So she's going to come to Czech Republic to visit too, to see the small country for a change. But we've got a couple of things that we thought they were interesting. For example, here when you want to vote, you tell us about the voting.
The vote, yes. Here, when you have 16, it's a mandatory, and when you made 18. It's a mandatory, and after you made 65 years.
65.
Yeah, 65 years. You don't need more to vote.
Okay, so then
just if you want.
It's not obligatory anymore. It's voluntarily.
Yes.
So if you're 16, it's voluntarily. Apart from 18, you have to vote every single time, and you pay some fine, right? If you don't go.
Yes.
You have to pay fine.
You have to make a justification.
Okay. So
telling why you don't vote at this time. Yeah.
So it's not the same as in Europe, because or at least in the Czech Republic, I cannot comment for all the states. I'm just like comparing from my point of view. So when you're 18, you don't have to go to vote, but you should. It's not obligatory. It's voluntarily. So about 50-60% of the Czech Republic, they go. What I also found interesting here is that if you go outside from your house, the sidewalk is actually your property, like in the Czech Republic, but you can make it the way that you want, right?
Yes, you make all the floor that you want. Don't have a size.
Yeah, you don't have a size, and it's interesting that then it's bumpy.
Yes.
So I have a friend, and she has a pram. She has a little baby, and she said she cannot even walk on the sidewalk because it's like this. Then there is a stair. Then it's down. So it's difficult for walking, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I found it really difficult.
I think so.
What I also find interesting that a lot of people have dishwasher at home, but do you use it? Lavalosa.
No.
The dishwasher?
We don't have that culture. Like it's normal, everybody eat, and after that, like a fight. Who's gonna wash the
who's
dishes today? So many people have
the dishwasher.
Yeah, but don't use it.
But they don't use it, which also brings me to another point. In Minas Gerais, almost all the families, they had a maid at home, and she was washing the dishes. The maid was either every day there, or they were coming once or twice a week. So actually, you don't have to even wash the dishes because you have a person who does that.
Oh yes.
In Sao Paulo, it's not as
Depends of the family. Depends of the time of the people have to wash.
Yeah, to wash.
Depends.
That's
People work so lot here, so they need to pay someone to do that's home. The homework.
Yeah, which brings me to another thing that a lot of people, that's why I'm dressed like that, because there is a culture of academia, fitness culture. And a lot of, since you don't have to work at home, you actually have time in the afternoon instead of cooking and instead of cleaning. You can go to the fitness center, to the gym, to academia. So they what they call it here. Which it's true that a lot of people are really concerned of how they look here. Right?
Yeah. The look.
Let's see if we're shooting it or not. We're all fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all fine. We don't want to be talking here just for us.
Just for us. Thinking that is wrecking. So people really give some really importance to how they look like. It's like something you told me about, to use the same clothes
every day.
No.
Yeah. Not that
never do that.
Yeah, they never do that. Not that we would use the same clothes every day. We wash it, guys. But if you wash the clothes, then later, if you want to use it 2-3 days later and you want to wear the same t-shirt, the guys just wear the same t-shirt. Here, you never do it. Never.
So we use that. If I'm using that silver t-shirt, I go to use just in the next week.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, but not probably the day afterwards either. Which is interesting that there are a lot of parties as well where people are really concerned about how they look. Like the 15-year-old birthday party. Yeah. We don't have it.
It's a really very important. Yeah, but you can choose. Right? If you wanted to travel to somewhere, or you're gonna to go to make a big
fest and a big party. It's interesting. It costs a lot of money. What they told me, it's like a wedding.
It's like a wedding.
The really. 15 years old, and then if you have formatura, right?
Yes.
If you graduate from high school or from the university,
it's more important the university.
The university.
Yes.
You have such a big party that you could pay for a wedding.
Oh my God, it's really expensive.
It's really expensive. Yeah,
you can buy at some parties you can buy a popular car.
Yeah. It's interesting. You can buy a car here for a party.
And the car is very expensive here.
And it's also an interesting thing, because here the cars that are produced here, they're shipped to US. They're like half the price in US, or not probably half, but about 70% there. And it's almost double the price here. It's really expensive.
I think it's 5% about tax.
Yeah, there is a high tax.
Yeah, really very expensive. No. Don't go to talk about subject.
It's true, because there is a lot of tax, so a lot of things that are especially de marca, which are labeled like clothes, like Tommy, Lacoste, like you don't even want to talk about Prada and Versace, okay? Because that's another topic. But it's like really expensive. I was surprised.
Yeah, I think that expensive price make people falsificate things.
Yeah.
And here is really common. You see in the center, like a really falsificated things.
Yeah, some
with a very cheap price.
It's true that then if you want to buy Adidas, which is not Adidas, you will pay almost nothing for it, but probably the material is not the same. Material. But we have that in Europe too. People falsificate too, but it's
here
not
very
as strong. Probably.
Because it's a segregate society, so it's really hard. So the people buy something, a t-shirt without nothing, and put the mark.
Just
because it's the settles.
Here we go.
And really some mark clothes.
It's true. It's like that. It's like that. Interesting. Which also, I wanted to say something now and then I forget. Let's leave it for later. But what about the schools? Because it's at home. in the Czech Republic, we have 9 years of the elementary school, which we don't divide into two positions. We have 9 years. That's it.
Here's
Here, a
8.
fundamental, it's
1 to 4.
there are
And
2
fundamental
stages.
2, you have to the 5 to 8. Yes.
Yeah. So it's 8 years altogether,
Yeah.
all the fundamental of the elementary school.
Yeah.
Then you enter into high school, which is ensino médio.
Sim, the high school you made 3 years.
So it's only for 3 years, which in the Czech Republic is typically 4.
Yes.
And then in the university, a faculdade.
Depends for the course. Like mine is 5 years to the
Yeah.
law school, yeah. And here's number 2, finish the high school, and you make some, you stop to study for 1 year to try to go to the public university. It's really, really hard.
To get to the public university, but
Yeah.
she goes there, so she's probably smart.
No!
No, it's true that you.
No, I have studied in the public school. All my years I made in the public school.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a how to say?
Is it private?
Private.
I thought that she was
Yeah.
in a public school.
No, I don't have this.
But so
privilege.
since she will have to pay for the schools.
I have to pay.
No, but that's true. It's also quite expensive, and a lot of people told me that the level of public schools in a lot of places is not very, very good. So it's
No.
advisable to pay the school, which brings me to another thing, that especially here in Sao Paulo, you pay for everything. Like you go to the city center, and even the price for the parking is really, really
Oh
high.
yeah, the parking here is.
Like you have a lot of costs here.
Yeah, depends on which part are you in the city. Like in the south area, it's more expensive.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
15 reais for 1
25
hour.
reais.
It can be
25
even,
reais.
Yeah, it can be even more, but I think on the average, more or less, what we paid yesterday.
Yeah,
as
you
well,
pay
15.
to half hour, to 1 hour, to 2 hours.
Yeah,
Depends.
depends every time.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the food here? I love the food. That's one of the things that I can totally stay because of the food. What is the typical food for every day? What do you eat?
Rice, beans, and some meat.
Some meat. I love
And
that.
salad. Yeah.
And salad, typically. So, café de manhã for breakfast. What do you eat for breakfast?
Bread.
It's
French bread.
French bread. A lot of people eat a lot of bread, guys. Like bread
Yeah.
every single
With
day.
butter.
Yeah.
It's classic. Or
And then a juice, right? A lot of people
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
like juice or fruit.
fruits.
Fruits or juice, and then you have bread, which is like almost every day. And coffee, of course. Oh my
Yeah.
god, coffee. I
Creamy
was drinking a
crackers.
lot of coffee here.
Oh, have the cream crackers.
And the cream crackers as well.
People eat a lot
Yeah.
here.
What time do you eat dinner?
The dinner, 18
Mm-hmm.
18 hours.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
Because a lot of people eat even later, right? A lot of people eat also
In my home,
8, 9, 10.
in my home, it's that hour.
It's that, yeah. And the dinner is typically lighter, right? It's not very, very greasy or a lot of things. It's less than for lunch.
No, I think it's the same for
Yeah,
lunch.
the same amount.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's true that almost all the meals you have to have a dessert afterwards. So you're like really, really full, and then they give you dessert.
Like some ice cream or chocolate.
Some ice cream,
Or
chocolate.
depends on the hair.
Pudding,
Yeah,
right?
pudding.
I love that pudding stuff as well.
Yeah.
And the fruits, there are a lot of different varieties of fruits. We were just talking about abacaxi, which is a pineapple, manga,
Mango.
mango. Who knows now how it's
Banana.
pronounced? Yeah.
Banana.
There are a lot of things
Banana.
like banana. There are a lot of things like that, but it's true that it's a bit different taste. If I can compare with the fruits in Czech or in US or in Europe or those places,
In the US, I have it, so
yeah,
it's very different.
it's different because
flavor.
it's not that sweet.
It depends of how the weather.
Yeah, as
for the
well.
place.
The banana here, they have many types of banana. Banana
Maçã, prata, nanica.
nanica. We only have nanica, which is the regular big banana.
Ah.
See, you didn't even know.
Banana da terra.
Yeah,
It's
but
very-
it's good, but we don't have that.
Oh.
No, we don't really fry. We don't have we're not very used to fry the bananas.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, not at all. We have
people
banana
want
chips.
to eat
Fried.
food, rice, beans, meat, and banana.
Banana. Yeah.
It's very
But
normal.
it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
I like it.
Yeah. What about the drinks? Because that was something which I was actually missing in my life. Wine. There is wine, but people don't really drink wine. You cannot really buy it
Don't
when you
have
go
that
to
culture.
bars. We don't. Here we don't really have the culture of wine. Of course, depends on the families, but I haven't encountered a lot of people who would know a lot about the quality of wine. What is the culture here of drinking?
Drinking while we drink.
Yeah.
What you used to drink.
Yeah. What is typical thing when you
beer. People-
when you go out?
Yeah, it's more cheapest.
Yeah.
It's cheapest
It's
than
cheaper, another
drinks.
drink. So
Yes.
what I actually started to do here, I started drinking beer a bit. I don't know if I'm going to be drinking beer later when I go to Czech, but actually here it is nice. It's refreshing.
Yeah,
It's
because
really
the
hot.
weather needs something refreshing.
Yeah,
The
it's
beer
something
is
refreshing. The
yeah.
beer is refreshing. Yeah, and a lot of people just the whole day they drink coffee, right? I just had a cup
Yeah,
of
a lot of
coffee.
times.
And tea, you don't really
Tea,
drink.
no, depends for the people. Like the old ones like to drink tea, but to feel better toward the stomach, you know,
Yeah.
when you eat something that no makes so good to the stomach.
So
used
then
to-
you drink
tea like
yeah.
medicine.
Like medicine, yeah. So we drink in the Czech Republic a lot of tea because it's cold there.